Hello everyone, I am Leanne Brittle, your current Miss North Dakota International 2020. The reason why I'm making this video today, or just starting my whole YouTube channel in general, is because, our world is different than when we started in, and as you all know, with COVID-19 going on, I am not able to physically go out. I brainstormed and I really thought about what I could do to stay interactive with you guys and how I can still spread my message of disabilities not impossibilities. And so I just decided to start our YouTube channel, because then you can then see me, you can then hear what I have to say of things, and you guys can be interactive, you guys can like comment, share, all those things. And yeah, so today I'm just going to be kind of just doing an introduction video, kind of explaining who I am, my story, and why I chose my platform. So my platform is Disabilities Not Impossibilities. 1 in 5 have a learning disability, and 1 in 8 do or will develop a disability in their life, and I myself am proud to be a part of that statistic. Growing up, I was diagnosed with learning disabilities, and I ended up getting diagnosed with a rare nerve disease called Guillain-Barré, or the fancy scientific name for it is acute inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy. I know that's a mouthful. I literally worked on that while I was recovering in occupational therapy to say that right. That left me paralyzed for a bit of my life, and I had to relearn how to walk, how to bathe myself, how to feed myself, all that jazz. And I lost my ability to breathe on myself basically, but thankfully things didn't get too bad. So when I first got diagnosed with Guillain-Barré, I was in high school. I was a senior in high school, and I was very active. I played hockey all year round. I played it my entire life. I also played tennis on the side. But then, I couldn't play that anymore. I was stuck in a bed. I couldn't do anything. I was in the hospital getting treatment, and I just felt like, well, I can't be upset about this. I can't be sad about this, because that won't really do anything. I won't make anything better. So I just decided, I need to have a positive mindset. I have to be able to keep pushing. Otherwise, in my mind, it was like, then I let my disability win. I let my sickness, my disease win. And I'm very competitive, and I didn't want that to happen. And so I was constantly like, okay, what's next? What was the next thing that I could do to keep myself busy? Because I love being busy. That's just how I've always been. And so my family, they always knew I wanted to be in a pageant. So then they brought my attention towards this really small, really local pageant. And it was for the Hispanic, Latino, and Mexican community. And they were like, hey, we know you've always wanted to do this. Here's this for you. And at this time, I was done with my treatment, and I was moved to a long-term unit part of the hospital. And this was when I was still kind of having a hard time walking, kind of taking care of myself. So there I was able to strictly just do physical therapy and occupational therapy all day, every day. And they were just kind of working me towards so I was able to go home and be safe and take care of myself. And I was like, you know what, you're right, I should do this. This is something I've always wanted to do, and I can't play hockey anymore, so why not? And so I talked to my doctors and hey, I really want to do this. And at first they weren't too happy about it. It was about a month away-ish, I think a little bit more than that. And they were like, no, from where you are right now, there's absolutely no way that you could physically do this. You can't even stand. And I was, I was very persistent. I was like, I can do it, just let me prove it to you. And so then they struck up a deal with me, and they're like, okay, if you can show in your therapy that you can do this and you can not wipe out, you can't relapse, when you do this, we'll give you the clear and then you can compete. And I was like, okay, this is it. And so then worked my butt off in occupational and physical therapy. I got the clear. I ended up competing, and I ended up winning. And that was something I wasn't expecting, because it was my very first pageant. But then through that, I found my director now reached out to me and was like, hey, I think you'd be great for this. You should totally do this. And then I was like, okay, let me think about it. And then so I did some research, but from what the difference were between all the pageant systems, because I never really competed before. There's something that was never really on my radar. And so I just looked up all the different systems, and I just basically compared them. And what I really liked about the international system is that they're platform based, and that they're all about making a difference. And I really like that, because then I felt like, okay, you're really seeing me as a person and who I am along with my message, and you're looking at how I'm giving back to the community. Like, I'm serving the community is not serving me because I have a crown. And I really appreciated that. I really liked the message, especially for the younger generations. And so I reached out and was like, I talked to him. I probably talked to him about a couple of times, because I was like, is this something I actually want to do? Like, I don't know, like, am I a pageant girl? I didn't know if I fit that mold or not. So then I did it. I jumped the gun, and I just decided I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna compete. And going into it, the first big state pageant, I was, I wasn't expecting anything, because it was my first pageant, and I wasn't gonna go in there thinking I'm gonna win this. I mean, I did, because I'm really competitive, and I really wanted it, but I knew that I was still recovering, and that I still wasn't my best that I could be to fully compete and to be and give it my absolute all physically. And and it was great. It taught me so many things, just from when I had my local title, working up to compete at the state level, taught me so many things, and taught me so many networking skills that I will like continue to have for the rest of my life. And so then I competed the next year, and I was like, this is it. Oh my gosh, I know what I'm doing. This is gonna be it. This is so great. I got second runner up, and that was good. Like, I wasn't gonna beat myself up about it, because just to say that I even got second runner up is amazing in itself. Just being able to compete is amazing in itself, because how many people can say that they competed in this? And that was, I always stress that to the girls that I was surrounded by, like, oh my gosh, girls, like, we are making a difference. No matter what this outcome comes out to be, we are surrounded by empowered women. And I love saying empowered women empower women, and that's definitely what I got, and that's what kept me getting that bug. I got the pageant bug, and I keep wanting to compete. And so I ended up doing it again for the third year, and I was like, this is it. And this one I was like, you know what, if whatever happens, happens. Because of course I was a little upset I didn't get it, but like they always say during pageant weekend, like, when it's your time, it's your time. Even though you might be frustrated if you don't get it, you wanted it and you worked hard for it. And they always say, like, you might not know it in that moment, but it happened for a reason. When it's your year, it's your year. And it always worked out like that, because the year before, when I got second runner up, of course I wanted it so bad, but then I ended up going to esthetician in my skin esthetician school, and ended up getting my license for that. And there was absolutely no way I could have worked, gone to school, and do what I wanted to do with the state title all in that 1 year. And I was like, that was it. Like, that was the reason that was looking out for me on why I didn't get it. And I was totally grateful for it. And then so going in the third year, I was like, okay, this is it. And I was really nervous. I was really anxious, because I didn't know if I was gonna compete again after this year, because I really wanted it. And just looking around at the other girls I competed against, they were absolutely all amazing and gorgeous, beautiful people with amazing platforms that you could tell that they were passionate about, and they were driven women. And I was so happy to be surrounded by and be a part of that group of women in the first place. But then I got it. I won, and I got the crown, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is it. And in that moment, I knew, like, okay, I have a job to do, like I said I was going to, and what I was doing beforehand. I need to be a role model, and I need to really push my platform and why it is so important. And that's what led me here today. And I couldn't just sit still and just, even though I can't be out and about in the community, I just couldn't sit still and not have my message be heard, because it is so important to me. Because whether I, win or not at nationals, I still have a duty to do. This is my life. I can't ever walk away from having a disability. So this is why I am making this video, to kind of spread awareness to you. So that's all I wanted to talk to you about today. Just as my little intro video. I will be posting weekly, and I will go more in depth about my learning disabilities and my journey with Guillain-Barré, and I will also be going more in depth about other disabilities and how common they are, what symptoms, what someone might live in a life with that disability. So yeah, if you have any comments comments, questions, or anything like that, go ahead and comment below. Reach out to me. I would love to talk to you. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.